Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua, Hashem, Kakadash. I want to give double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, and salutations and much love. The rest of you, sincere Akim, pushing the word and truth and sincerity. This is the Cleric Azar coming at you with another lesson. I am continuing in my lot to bring you my ongoing series from excerpts of Hollywood, This Factory of Perverseness, another observation of predictive programming, how art imitates life and vice versa. Just a reminder, the purpose of my videos is to show correlations. A correlation is an observation of a mutual relationship or connection between two or more things. I use movies to extract or extrapolate a narrative. I'm not glorifying the Hollywood culture or life. I have a wide knowledge of films, whether they be foreign or domestic, and I just use them as an example to bring out similarities and those correlations. To quote Cecil B. DeMille, the greatest source of material for motion pictures is the Bible. Call this lesson, These Banks Have Been Around, Part 2. Okay, I'm going in the same film that I used in part 1. The image I have on display is from the film The Quicker Than Dead that I watched in my past. Of course, being the truth, I reflected on this particular movie. Released on February 10th, 1995, directed by Sam Raimi. If you're not familiar with Sam Raimi, he also did Darkman and the Spider-Man trilogy, okay? The one with Tobey Maguire, okay? And I totally forgot that he directed this film as well, as I probably stated on my previous video. I've already brought out the meaning behind The Quick and the Dead in the last video. So if you haven't watched part 1, go ahead and check that out. I'm going to go into some other scriptures here to back up through the spirit what I was bringing out from part 1. And let's go into the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 6. And let me also, before I do that, I wanted to bring out how long Wells Fargo has been around, because I forgot to do that on my last video. That's why there's a part 2. I had to sit there and dwell on that in the spirit. Just bring it out to give an idea how long this been around. Okay, history of Wells Fargo, and then according to Wikipedia, it's not totally accurate, but I'm going to go with what I have here. Okay, here we go. I was about to say, it's Wells Fargo. Okay, 1852. Perfect. All right, so looks like, wow. Wells Fargo was an American banking company based in San Francisco, California that was acquired by Norwest Corporation in 1998 during the California Gold Rush. In early 1848, a Sutter's Mill near Coloma, California, financiers and entrepreneurs from all over North America and the world flocked to California, drawn by the promise of huge profits. Well, the point was just to show you the year that this bank had kind of started, got it started, 1852. And as you can see, this particular film in the part 1 takes place in 1881. Of course, it's a fictional film, but the bank is quite real. Okay, and as I was bringing out to the spirit in the first video, this bank did have ties to the slave trade and how it profited off the backs of slaves. Okay, now I'm going to go into some scriptures, and keep in mind this particular financial system that is based on is really built on debt. Okay, and I was bringing out in the last video, you know, it was the U.S. dollar had an average inflation rate of 2.3 per year between 1880 and 2016, and so 123K in that year, 1880, was worth around $3 million in 2021, which is only 2 years prior. Okay, let's go ahead and go back to Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 6, and it backs up what I was talking about with debt. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 6, and it reads, "Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, Woe to him that increaseth that which is not his." Okay, so everything was built off of the backs of slaves, as well as you Jakes, you blacks, Native Americans, Latinos, which make up the lost tribes of Israel, in establishing this this country, this wicked company, really, that came to be known as North America. Really is Babylon the Great in the scriptures. Okay, and let's skip down to verse 12, but the main thing in verse 6 I want to bring out is the fact that this plane was stolen. Okay, and woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. Woes is destruction. That's basically the future of Babylon the Great, aka America, to be destroyed off the face of the earth in nuclear fire in World War III. Okay, and this is what we're waiting on. Okay, and a lot of murder, robbery, and rape happened here. That's the truth. It doesn't matter how much they try to spin it in the school system. Those are the facts. Let's stay in Habakkuk chapter 2. We're going to skip down at verse 12. Okay. We already talked about woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. It also says woe to him that buildeth a town with blood. So all this robbery, rape, and murder, all right, destruction must come to someone like that is established a city on blood, or buildeth a town with blood. That's in verse 2. Verse 12 describes Salakia. Let's read it again. Verse 12. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood and establish a city by iniquity. Okay. All right. So we already talked about the future of A.K. Babylon the Great, so-called America. Okay. And, this Esau Edom, so-called white man, he really believes that he's done all this by his hand. He doesn't want to give credit to anybody. Okay. And as I was bringing out in my part 1 lesson in Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1, it reads, Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness for the face of such as have afflicted him, and made no account of his labor. So not only did he do that in the establishment of this country, but he did it once he got the country up and running, when he still had you Jakes in subjection underneath him. After so-called, you're still slaves today, especially if you have a social security card, social security number, and you have to have a job, and you don't own any land, you don't own any, the buildings. You got a mortgage on something that, it's basically not even yours. Okay. Let's go into Isaiah chapter 10, verse 13. This just backs up the fact that Esau Edom, the so-called white man, believes he's done this by his own hand. He doesn't want to give credit to the Most High. All right. Let alone the people of the Most High, which is you Jakes, you blacks, Native Americans, Latinos, which make up the lost tribes of Israel. Isaiah chapter 10, verse 13, it reads, For he saith, By the strength of my hand I have done it, and by my wisdom. So he says, by the strength of his hand, he came over here, starting off with Christopher Columbus and conquistadors and so forth, and all other people that have come over here. All right. And by my wisdom, so he thinks it's his wisdom and his thoughts that have made him become the way he is today. All right, for I am prudent, and you gotta look at the word prudent. It's someone that can foresee something, but he foresees something. All right, he also foresees his downfall because he knows he's had an end. He's about to come down on great wrath because he knows he's had an end. Okay, reading on, and I have removed the bounds of the people, and I have robbed their treasures. See that? Robbery, rape, murder. All right, right there. And I put down the inhabitants like a valiant man. Okay, there used to be a comic book strip in the newspaper called Prince Valiant. Let me look at the word valiant. Since we're on this topic here. Bear with me just a moment. Oh, wow. Valiant, possessing or showing courage or determination. Okay. Similar to brave, fearless, courageous, valorous, plucky, intrepid, heroic. All right. So, yeah, he's gonna think he's gonna be courageous, especially during World War III, when it's time for Yahushua to return with Michael the Archangel and the host of angels to stop Esau Edom from establishing his new world order. All right, he's gonna be courageous then, but he's gonna be really in fear at the same time. All right, but he wants to hold on to what the Most High really has given him. Okay, so. In Isaiah chapter 10, verse 13, it says, I have put down the inhabitants like a valiant man. Okay, so, and that's why, his woman looks at him a certain way, because she knows history too. She knows how her man's taking down this place. That's why, and that's a whole other topic for another day, but that's why the so-called white man, Esau Edom, gets reverenced by his woman. Not by you, Jake. You don't get the same reverence as from your woman, because you were trodden down. Okay, let's go to the Apocrypha. All right, and we got to stick to this labor. We got to stick to this work. All right, and we can't be so caught up in the sins of this world and so forth. All right, we got to trust in the Lord. Okay, because He's about to flip the switch. All right, let's go into the book of Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus, chapter 11, verse 21, and it reads, "Marvel not at the works of sinners, but trust in the Lord, and abide in thy labor, for it is an easy thing in the sight of the Lord on the sudden to make a poor man rich. Like I said, like a flip of the switch, you know, like it goes from dark to light, or light to dark, whether or not you hitting up or down, all right, to make the room dark or light, all right, suddenly, okay. And that's what a crash is. You know, suddenly you're in a crash. All right, that's what's like going to happen to this financial system, okay. But I'm going to end it on this. I'll always like to end my videos on a good note with some type of silver lining, and there is light at the end of the tunnel. So in other words, there is a happy ending. As I was bringing out in the first part 1, I was bringing out Jeremiah chapter 46, talking about that bomb, and how the bomb was associated with Egypt, and the Israelites were enslaved in Egypt at one point, and today, aka Babylon the Great, is the modern day Egypt. Okay. This time, we're going to go into Jeremiah chapter 51, but I'm going to play this video real quick, and then I'll bring out some scripture after that.
He's entitled to whatever he wants, courtesy Mr. Harris. But the man who wins the contest gets this: $123,000. Compliments Mr. Harris and Wells Fargo.
Wells Fargo. Okay. Let's go into Jeremiah 51. We're going to start at verse 5, reading all the way down to verse 10. For Israel have not been forsaken, nor Judah of his power, of the Lord of hosts, though their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel. Flee out of the midst of Babylon, and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. Okay. Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. So even based on the financial system, the petrodollar being at one point the world's reserve currency, that's about to change. All right. When you look at all these other countries currently that are leaving the American dollar alone, they're about to establish their own. Okay. And that's probably going to be part of the reason why World War III is going to be happening. Something most likely is probably going to happen in the Middle East. Okay. Because that's where, you know, the Battle of Armageddon or the Battle of Megiddo is going to take place. Okay. The Valley of Yehoshaphat. Okay. Where was I at here? Let's go into verse 8. Babylon is suddenly fallen. See, suddenly. See, that goes back to what I was bringing out in Sirach, chapter 11, verse 21. Talking about in the sight of the Lord on the sudden to make a poor man rich. Okay, so Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her? Take balm for her pain. If so, she may be healed. All right. Verse 9, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go every one into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. The Lord hath brought forth our righteousness. Come, let us declare in Zion the work of the Lord our power. Okay, so pretty much it's saying, hey, don't be so caught up in this system. Don't be caught up in this country. All right, because the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, is about to take this place out. All right. And it's going to be a memorial, okay? And no one's going to be living here ever again, okay? It's going to be a sign to all the future inhabitants of this planet that, hey, you know, you don't want to go against the Heavenly Father, and you don't want to go against his children, all right, the children of Israel, okay? All right, just had some additional scriptures I want to bring out there. I am going to have another lesson in another day or so. I don't think I need a part 3 to this, but I just wanted to bring that out, and I wanted to share it. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. And the point is, hey, you know, these banks, you know, they've been around for a minute, and they've been doing their wickedness, and pretty soon, you know, they're going to be nothing, okay? It's all going to be by the Lord's hand, okay? I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, who gives me the strength and the spirit to continue to strive and endure in these last days. Shalom to the hopeful elect. And on to the next video.